Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon. I'm Al Jones. Later today, Woodbury County could walk away from a federal lawsuit with $3 million. In 2025, Hausman Construction filed a lawsuit against several groups, including Woodbury County. This stems from a series of design and construction disputes during construction of the Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center. Construction of the LEC took about 3 years. Work began in September of 2021. The building achieved substantial completion and became fully operational in August of 2024, but the authority has not yet accepted the project as final. The authority has overseen the project since the beginning of 2020. Now, today, the LEC authority will go into closed session to either accept or reject that $3 million agreement. KTIV's Taylor Decker joins us now in studio with more details. And Taylor, what can you tell us about this deal?
That's right, Al. I'll be at today's meeting where they could approve a settlement. If approved, it would end the ongoing federal lawsuit and avoid a jury trial in May 2027. What you need to know is the financial impact. If approved, Woodbury County and the LEC authority would receive about $3 million in net settlement proceeds. This would be paid by the architects, Goldberg's Group Architects, and Troba to resolve design and construction disputes. This means no taxpayer out-of-pocket payment. The authority is not required to pay any settlement funds. It will only release the existing $3 million, retaining the contractor, Hausman Construction, once Hausman resolves $2.56 million in pending subcontractor claims. While they will receive millions in net settlement proceeds, these funds are reparative. The document states the money will be used by the authority to pay for remaining uncompleted work on the law enforcement center and uncover the county's extensive legal fees, experts, witness costs, and other expenses built up during the litigation. The settlement requires the authority to formally accept the LEC project, which has been fully operational, as Al said, since achieving this in August of 2024. Accepting it as final, which we know has had lingering problems in the past. And it must be passed by the two governing bodies, the Woodbury County Board of Supervisors and the Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center Authority. Al?
Taylor, also will mention if the resolutions are rejected, the parties will remain in active litigation, and a trial is back on the table, as you mentioned, in May of next year. Now, you can read more about the agreement at KTIV.com.